Welcome back to my channel. It's Sue from ems.nails and beauty, and this is my Gellifique video. So I go through these videos, I talk about the colours and what the consistencies are like and how I feel the depth of the colour is and the opaqueness. So on this one I've got 6 to show you, 3 pinks and 3 reds. So this pink is Cosmopolitan, and then we have Pink Panther and Romance. Oops, light's getting in the way. And then we've got Pink Champagne. Oh, those lights are a bit, let's see if I can get rid of one of them. Nope, not that one. Right, Pink Champagne, Hot Flush, that's a bit better, and Blood Rose. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop these onto clear bases like I've done them all, so you can see what colour they actually are. So I'm going to start off with Romance. So let's move that there. And we'll get these popped for you. So Romance is, oh, it's a very nice pink. How would I describe that pink? It's not a baby pink, but it's not pale pink. Let's see if I turn the flash off again. Let's see if we've got, no, it just looks like a mustard. No, we're not going to get them. Right, so what I'll do is I'll have a look on Gellifique's site and I'll see if I can pull up their colour swatch that they do, and I'll put them at the end of the video. So, right, as always, as I do, I only put a little bit on. You all know me by now, don't like to waste product, but the opaqueness of these is amazing, even on very thin coats. So switch that upside down and drag that through. So I hope you're all keeping fine. I hope you're all getting ready for the holidays. I hope COVID hasn't dampened your spirits too much. Right, so that's enough faffing around for that. Right, so it's that thin on there. If I bring it up, can you see the streaks? So once again, that shows you how thin it is. You can hardly see it on the tip. So I'm going to pop that in. It's in an LED UV lamp, and they're a 30-second to a 60-second cure, depending on which one you've got. Always check your make and model of your lamps and check your bulbs, because your bulbs do run out. And so if they're not curing on your clients, then it's quite possibly your bulb. So just make sure that each individual layer is dry. So the base coats and the top coats with the Gellifique range are 60 seconds and 120 seconds. So as long as your coats are thin and they're cured, then you're going to have no problems. If the colour isn't as opaque as you would like it, because you are doing them so thin, you are able to go in with another colour. Well, another layer, I mean. But if you're putting them on thick, they're not going to cure properly. Right, so this goes on nice and creamy. Once again, it's a medium consistency, all self-leveling. So when you see it in your hand and you're like, oh, that's streaky, I can really see the streaks in that, just give it a turn upside down for a couple of seconds. Try and do 2 things at once, and it doesn't become streaky anymore. So then you can pop it in the lamp and give that a quick blast for 30 seconds. Right, so the second one we're going to hop on with is Pink Panther. Now this is a lovely pink. Once again, I don't think this setup I've got does this justice. This is a gorgeous pink. I wouldn't say it's a Barbie pink, but we're getting there. I will find these on Gellifique site and I'll pop their colours on. I'll also take pictures with light on and light off and pop them at the end of the video so you'll be able to see that. I think that might become a thing I start doing, because I do struggle to show these colours to you and describe them properly, but I think I can describe them a little bit better than what I'm finding on the site itself. Right, so that's my first layer of that. I'm just going to turn it upside down a second, let that level out, and that's our first one out. So that's the 2 coats now. Right, I'm going to pop that one in and get that going. Now let's have a look at, I'd say, even though it's, what have they called it? They've called it romance. It's very, very pretty, don't get me wrong. But it's very, very pale pink. Set it against my skin tone. Now you can't really see it very well. Let me see if I put it against a black. Is that any better? No. And that could just purely be because of the flash. So let's take that off. No. See, this is how hard these colours are. They're absolutely beautiful. But when you come to taking photographs of them and showing your clients what you've got, then that's where the trouble starts becoming. So they can only sort of see them once they're in the salon itself. But a lot of mine look on my Facebook site and they'll have a look at colours there and they're like, oh, because not everyone can spare time to look at over 400 colours that I've got between 2 brands. I've currently got 135 of the Gellifique ones, and then I've got, oh God, I can't remember, of another brand that I'm slowly swapping over from. So that's like a pale bubblegum pink. Let's call it pale bubblegum pink. You'll see there. See, it's more pink than this one. Oops. Should just leave them alone. Right, let's pop that in for its second cure. So the third one I'm going to do is Cosmopolitan. Now this is a deep pink. So this is like a proper pink. It's actually very pretty. Right, so let's see how we get on here. Let's pick up some gel. This one feels like it's a little bit thicker than the other 2 I've just used. So even though it's still a medium consistency, it's just a little bit thicker. That could be just purely because of the colour and the opaqueness. So be careful on how thick you're doing this one. So it should still cure within the 30 seconds, but just make sure it has cured properly before you let your client leave. So they're the first 2. The more I look at this first one, the more it reminds me of like a little mushroom colour. And then this reminds me of like a baby pink, but it's not baby pink. This one is a proper pink. So I'm going to do 2 coats of this. even though technically you would get away with the one coat because of the opaqueness of it. So very thin layer, laying it down, and this will keep your client's nails thin, so there's not going to be an over build up of gel. This will allow you to do embellishments. It'll also allow you to encapsulate things without the nail becoming too bulky and too heavy. Right, I'm just going to pop that upside down just for a split second. I just find that it just levels the gel out a little bit quicker, even though they are self-leveling. It's just something I like to do. So that goes in the lamp for 30 seconds. So whilst that's in there, I am going to go on to pink champagne. Now, these come in the 8ml bottles. I've got these in. And this is a weird colour. And the colour you're seeing it on screen is a little bit more orange toned than what it is in the bottle, in what I'm seeing. But if you look at the top, it actually looks pink. So let's see how this goes on. See, very, very deceiving. Very deceiving. So this is a gorgeous pink. It would be better over a different colour on the tip. So I will swap that one out. So there is your third pink, which was the Cosmopolitan. So there's Cosmopolitan. Oops. Oh, see, she's at it again. Leave it in the salon for 2 seconds. Oh, and these aren't top coated, and I'm just making a hash of this. So there's the first. Oh, I think I need new sticky pads. Right, so there's the first 3. All right, when she gets it done. Excuse me, I'm all fingers and thumbs today. So starting off here with Romance. In the centre we have Pink Panther, and then we have Cosmopolitan. So you can see the variations of pink there from these two. This one you're still not getting a true colour from. So hopefully the pictures at the end of the video will show you more of what they're like. I'll put them on different backgrounds for you to have a look at. Now I'm just going to sort these out because I've completely pulled them off. Now. So let's just sort these back out. Should just leave them alone. Not too much of a faffer. Right. And let's see if I've got another tip. Just bear with me. Right, so I'm going to take that off because you're just not going to see. No, get off. You're not going to see much of a colour on that. So what I've done is I've just gone over to the drawer that I have just all these really cheap nails in. The kind you'd order from China. Oh. Right, so I'll start that one again. So this is the pink champagne that we're doing now. So let's have a look at this. So what I've done is I've pulled out a couple of other colours, a couple of other tips just in case. Right, so you can definitely see on there. Right, now this is very thin. And it's not as opaque as the other colours. So this is going to take a couple of coats to get a depth of colour that you're after. It's obviously depending on what you plan on doing. Get that bit off there. So I pop that in for 30 seconds. Let me just have a quick look. So this is Hot Flush. So I'll do that on a white tip, and Blood Rose I'll do that on a white tip as well. So let's just get rid of that tip there. And we'll pop one of these cheapos. Oops. Oh, this is where it all turns into fun and games now, isn't it? Yeah. Do it in a minute. Right, so that's the first layer of pink champagne. So I'm still not doing them very thick. So this is more like, I'd say, a glass. You know, the gels you can buy that are called glass, which are very, very thin and see-through. Well, they're not as opaque as the other colours within the range. But it still gives you a really nice coverage with hardly any gel. So I'm not going to knock it, but I could do lots of other things, but I'll just paint with that one. So I'm not going to... Oops, I'm trying to get my little sticky off. See, the great once you've put them on, getting them off and tidying it all up, that's the problem. So with that pink champagne, I don't think it's necessarily a colour that is non-versatile. I think that's extremely versatile, that one. So that's like a glass. And I'll be doing a stained glass with that one in another video, because I quite like that one. So I'm just going to get another bit of sticky and put it on here. So it's just double-sided sticky tape that I've picked up from my local craft store. I think it was like 99p for a big roll. And it's better than a big blob of, this is just normal sticky tape, double-sided sticky tape. But it looks a whole lot more prettier than having a big blob of blue tack or white tack underneath the tips. Well, my opinion only. Right, on to the next one. No, I didn't get that on very straight today. Right, so let's try the hot flush and see what the hot flush is like. Let me pull them a little bit closer. Right, so hot flush for you guys comes out looking like that. Nice. So a little bit on my brush. Another one I'd class as a glass. So it's not creamy, it's very thin. Where the others were creamy, you could see that within the texture, and you could see it within the opaqueness. You can see that this is very transparent. So more of a glass, I would say. I will see how Gellifique call it. I'm not sure. Right, so that's upside down. It's back in there for 30 seconds. So whilst that's curing, sorry for the noise in the background, I'll find another little, trying to find another little tab. It's off an old set that I've got. So we'll get this stickied up. See, I can understand why they sent them in 5s. I can understand that, you know, because we predominantly would do 5 nails. But when you get collections of like 6 or 7, it's like I just need a longer bit, but I don't necessarily need 2, because then I've got gaps and I don't like gaps. So, or is it just me? Does anybody else feel like that? Does anybody else feel like they should have like an extra couple? Oh, fiddle with that in a moment. So this one's come out, that's its first coat. Right, and the second coat, so I have got a little bit more gel on the brush than what I've had previously, but I'm still not trying to do it very thick, so that's why you're still getting this glass look. But I suppose if that was over somebody's nail acrylic extension, then it'd look darker than that, obviously. So let's pop that back in for its little cook. Right, let me see if I can figure this one out now. So I need to get this off and re-tab that other one. Oh, there we go. All right. Let's get that stuck down. So this one is the Hot Flush. So it's quite a nice red. It's not as red as the, where's it gone? Red Hot. It is nowhere near as red as that at all. This is the Lady of the Night red that we call it in our salon. But then a lot of my transgenders call this the boy of the night. So we have a lady of the night and a boy of the night. And then we blues and reds. But I do have very witty clients, so I absolutely love all my clients in the salon. They've renamed most of this stock, so I'm used to it now. But this is why I have all my colours online. So this is the blood red. Now you can see it's very dark there, and it looks like a brown, even to my eyes here. So I know this goes on totally different because I've used it. And it is like, it's like a dark blood. It's not as red as your blood. It's a darker blood. So you know when you see your blood in a collection pot when you'd gone for a blood test, and you see it's a little bit darker because it's not as oxygenated. It's not as contaminated by the oxygen outside of your body. I don't even know what I'm waffling on about now. It's the same colour as what you would get in a blood test. That's the best way to describe that. But oh God, I'm having a day, aren't I? I'm having a day. Right, so let's pop that in for its little cure. So what I'm going to do on all of these is I'm going to top coat them with the Armour top coat. So I've had this one since I started doing this range, and I've used this top coat on all of my clients in between, and I'm just getting now to the dregs of it. So these bottles do go a long way. I'm doing, well, up to 80 sets of nails a week with this range. And then obviously I'm doing these little videos, so that'll give you an idea of how far these go. So I'm just going to top them all. Right, so that's the blood red after the 2 coats. Right, so let's stick him there. I'm going to pause the video because you don't need to see me top coat everything, and I shall be back in a second. So they've all been top coated. So Blood Rose, Hot Flush, Pink Champagne, and then we had Cosmopolitan, Pink Panther, and then the palest of them all was Romance. This is more of a nude pink than a pink pink. So let's bring them up as we do. And whilst I was off camera, I completely made a boo-boo and dropped Pink Panther, who's now just come off the thing, and it's more than covered in fluff now. So sorry. Really not having a great day. So Pink Panther next to Cosmopolitan, you can see massive difference. This is more of a nude, this Romance. And then we've got Pink Champagne. These are definitely more of a glass. Hot Flush and Blood Rose. So that's that collection. What I'll do at the end, again, I will just put them on a different colour background and take pictures with lights, without lights, with flashes, without flashes, all of the palaver to see if you can get a colour. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you've got any questions or comments, pop them below. Please keep them clean. Children get to see these videos as well as adults. If you've got any questions, you can direct message me and I can go through them with you. Otherwise, like, share, hit the notification bell, and I'll be back with another video soon. Thanks very much. Take care now and all stay safe.